What's up? What's up, face? Or should I say, internet land? How's everybody doing on a terrific Thursday? All right, just want to jump on real quick for a lunchtime financial empowerment video. Throughout this video, I'm gonna address a couple of things here. But throughout the video, if you found value from the video, by all means, like, share with others. But I want to make sure that this content is valuable to you. Even this is going to sound weird. Even if you didn't find value from the video, I still want to hear from you. Okay, because this is what it's all about. I want to know what kind of financial pain points that people are having, so we can address those things, so we can get to our financial promise. But we can't get there unless we know precisely what are those financial pain points. But I am going to go over some pain points, right? Some known pain points right now. So for those who do not know me, my name is Cedric Jenkins, and I'm here as an advocate for the taxpayers. I'm here to convert uninformed taxpayers to informed taxpayers so they can lower their personal income taxes on average of $20,000 or 33% or more, so that way they can put more money back into their household to do more with. That's what it's basically all about. You know, we not out there trying to break even when we go out there and earn money. We trying to go out there and earn money to where we take that money and be able to do something with. We ain't trying to break even. I know we ain't punching the clock to break even. So the title of this video is you see the title of the video. Okay, so let me address interest. If you didn't know, now you know. So let me share this with you. This country is nothing more than a business itself. Okay, they have to generate revenue just like all of us. And so for them to generate revenue, here's the concept for this country. Their concept is on the borrowing and the lending concept. Okay, borrowing and lending concept. All right. And so we all know that when we borrow and the banks lend us something or lend us a loan, there is an interest attached to it. All right. And so what happens with the interest, now that's profit for the bank, and now that goes on their balance sheet as revenue. All right. It goes on their balance sheet as revenue. So think about this. You got a car loan. You got a mortgage. All right. These are big ticket items. We know we don't have cash outright to go buy a home. And some of us don't have cash outright to go purchase a vehicle. So what do? We go to a bank, sit down and talk to a loan officer and ask if you can borrow the money to make that purchase. So they go through their due diligence and say, yes, we can lend you the money to go make that purchase. But oh yeah, by the way, in the contract, there's interest. There's some interest that you have to pay back. So in essence, you're not paying back the $13,000 or $14,000 that you purchased for that car. You paying that plus the interest. Well, when you make your monthly car note, guess what's happening? Your monthly payment is going to satisfy interest first and then principal, right? So all that interest is going into the bank. Now, what about college? Okay, not everybody's going to qualify for a grant. Not everybody's going to qualify for a scholarship. So guess what happens if you haven't been setting any money aside for your kids to go to college? Guess what you're going to have to go do? You have to go get a loan. So now you're sitting right back in front of a loan officer asking to borrow money for them to lend to you to take to send your child to school. Just know that interest is going to be tied to it. Now you speaking with someone who has 3 degrees, 1 bachelor's and 2 masters, and I was blessed to for that bachelor's and that first master's. I was blessed to be able to have Uncle Sam pay that for me. But unfortunately, on that second master, that wasn't the case. Guess what I had to go do? I had to go borrow that money from the bank, and the bank lent that money to me for me to go to get that second master. Now I got I got a loan in repayment. Well, guess what happens? That $15,000 that I have in student loan payment, I'm not just paying that, I'm paying that plus interest. Now who's out here tired of interest? Because interest is really taking money out of your household. All right? Who's in that situation? Who's in that situation? Interest is taking money out of your household because of the fact that we don't have the outright cash to make these purchases. Same thing with a credit card. It's no different. All right? Same thing with a credit card. So if you're like me, I hate money being taken out of my pocket. And that's what's happening with interest. Now, let me add this to you. We all income is reportable, okay? That's wages, business income, and investment income. All right? So let's stick with the wages, because I'm talking with taxpayers, right? Did you know that 8% of the Americans who are uninformed about the tax laws are overpaying their taxes unnecessarily? Did you know that? Okay. Did you know that your overpayment of taxes is going to the federal government, Uncle Sam? Now, here's what you need to know. Money that's in the bank does not sit there. All right. It has to go to the market. It has to go to the stock market because of the fact that money is being distributed every day. And at that point in time, money is put in the market. And when it's put in the market, now that money is growing due to compound interest. All right. So I want you to think about this. Your overpayment of your money from taxes is going to the Federal Reserve Bank. All right. The Federal Reserve Bank, at the end of the day, you're gonna have somebody in the stock market going to ring that bell, right? Which means the market is going to close, and then that money is going to be distributed and it's going to be grown and to be distributed to other people. All right. Well, the Federal Reserve is doing the same thing. So they taking our tax dollars from the Federal Reserve Bank, putting it in the market so that money can grow. That once that money grow, then it comes back to the Federal Reserve Bank and it stays there until they put it right back out into the market. Now, here's the question. Since you overpaid your taxes, right? You overpaid your taxes to the federal government, and the government made interest off your money. Did you get the interest from your overpayment? Did you get your interest from your overpayment? The answer is a resounding no, because the system's not designed to do that. All right? The system is not designed to do that. Once the federal government gets that money from the stock market and put it right back in the Federal Reserve Bank, and I know this because I'm a federal employee, and y'all are probably paying my salary because I'm a federal employee, it goes into what you call a working capital fund, and the powers to be decide what they want to do with the money. Okay? But I know what they don't do with the money is give it back to the taxpayer for their overpayment. So I want y'all to peep this now. The banks just took money out of your household due to interest because you got student loan, car loans, mortgage loans, things of that nature. Then you got the government done took additional money from your household because of the fact of your overpayment. But then add salt to injury, they done took your money, put it on the street, made money, put it back in their bank, and that's their profit. You over here struggling financially because you don't have the bank and the government just hit you with a principle called with a concept called interest, borrowing and lending concept. You just got hit from the borrowing and lending concept, and you just made money for the banks and the government. And we wonder why we paycheck to paycheck. We struggling paycheck to paycheck. Hell, half us don't last from paycheck to Monday, because we been got financially so big from the federal government and from the bank. I want y'all to understand that that's what's happening. That's what's happening with your money. You're getting hit from the borrowing and lending concept from the bank and the government at the same time. And here's the thing: what happens when you overpay your taxes? All right, Uncle Sam comes and get your taxes right off the rip through payroll deduction every time you get paid. If you don't believe me, go look at your last pay stub. All right, then at the end of the year, okay, if you don't get enough taxes taken away from you throughout the year, guess what happens? He come get you at the end of the year. See, that was the situation I was in. 6-figure income earner, right? Trying to figure out where the hell my money going? Where is my money going? Well, $1,100 a month of me being uninformed taxpayer was going to the federal government as an interest-free loan. They was taking my money, put in the Federal Reserve, and then the Federal Reserve was putting it in the market, and then they were making money off of my $1,100. That's about $375,000 in over a course of about 20 years or so that they don't flipped it. I'm over here struggling, flipping my brain trying to figure it out, right? And then his add salt to injury. At the end of the year, they already was taking $1,100 away from me through payroll deduction on taxes, my overpayment. Then at the end of the year, Uncle Sam will come back and said, yo, dog, look, I know I took $1,100 from you throughout the year, but we ain't get enough. I got to get you again, dog. And then my tax bill will pretty much, at the end of the year, roughly ranges between $2,000 to $6,000. So they done got $13,200 of my money throughout the year, and then hit me with another tax bill at the end of the year. So that's almost, I mean, my top bill had been about $6,000. So you're almost looking at $20,000 in one calendar year that the federal government by itself done took money from me. By themselves. Okay? And see, here's the thing. I want everybody to understand this. You can position yourself to where you can flip that. Because I did. You can flip that situation. Because if you don't, here's what's happening. The federal government says, hey, look, said, I'm going to tell you how much you're going to be able to spend after I get me first. That's the situation majority of us are in. That's the situation majority of us are in. Okay? Then, after you get what's left over, guess who else you got to go see after that? What's left over after Uncle Sam get his? You got to go see the bank. Guess what? That's on that borrowing lending concept. You caught up in that. You got to go see the bank because you got a mortgage loan, you got a car loan, you got credit cards, and all of them using the borrowing and lending concept because interest is tied to that. So you losing money all the way around, y'all. Y'all losing money all the way around. So, but you can put yourself in a different position to where now you get to tell Uncle Sam, I'll tell you when I will pay taxes and how much after I take care of me first. Now, how many is in that situation? How many of y'all are in that situation? How many, if you're not in that situation, how many would like to be in that situation? Because here's the thing. As long as you uninformed, you will always be caught up in the borrowing and lending concept for somebody else. and you will always be paycheck to paycheck or paycheck to Monday, struggling, trying to figure it out. Okay? But if you're informed, and that's what my job is here, is to help you get informed, because there are a different set of rules where they use a different set of tax laws and a different set of tax codes to where you get to tell the banks and the government how much you are going to pay after you get your money first and take care of your expenses first. Right now, y'all don't have a leg to stand on if you're uninformed. If you want to get informed, here's what you need to do. Comment below and with the comment inform. And what I'll do is I'll send you some information on how you can be better informed so you can stop losing 20 grand or more on your personal income taxes. So you can save on average of 33%. So you can stop being caught up in this borrowing lending concept where your money is making money for somebody else, but you over here struggling from paycheck to paycheck to Monday. Now, this ain't for everybody who's comfortable with their situation right now, as far as overpaying their taxes, giving all their money to Uncle Sam as an interest-free loan, which is taking money out of your household, and giving all their money to the banks because they got a lifestyle. They got to have certain things, and they got to get on a borrowing and lending system for them to get it right. If you're those individuals, then this is not for you. This is for the individual who are looking and seeking for a financial breakthrough to say, hey, look, I'm tired of the borrowing lending system tearing up my family's household. As a matter of fact, I'm tired of it tearing up my generation. We ain't gonna pass down any kind of future generation financially if we caught up in this borrowing and lending concept that the U.S. government is using. Okay, we need to be in our own borrowing and lending. We need to use that for our own concept, our own personal finances. So if you want to be able to get out of Uncle Sam and the big business borrow lending system and start your own to improve your finances, comment below. If you got any value from this video, by all means hit the like, share. If you didn't, this is exercise your first amendment, right? Put the comment below and say all this was a bunch of hogwash. And what we'll do is, for that individual, because I know the devil hates fact and truth, and he always going to send that one person. So I'm just going to speak to that spirit right now. If you that person that says this is a bunch of hogwash, what we'll do is we'll talk offline, and we'll talk and find out how did you get to that perception, right? And all I'm going to do is lay out the facts and truth, and then from there, if you still don't get it after I lay out the facts and truth, that's on you, okay? All right, that's on you. So anyway, long video, but that was something that was on my heart, that was in my spirit, that I wanted to get out there. Listen, y'all, this is all about your financial future. Don't get caught up with what you see what's happening socially, because what's getting caught up socially is all strategic. Y'all go back and y'all do y'all homework on this. Seasonally, throughout the year, there are some things that happen throughout the year that tap into folks' emotions. And right now, our emotions are all ripped up because of the fact of one of my fraternity brothers, Colin Kaepernick, hadn't got signed yet, this, that, and other. So we're looking at racism. We always been dealing with some other racial issues, things of that nature. 9/11 is about to come up. Okay, 9/11 is about to come up. So you can best believe another big time social event is gonna happen due to that. Remember, we're on a borrowing and lending system. So what happens is this: they tap into the taxpayers' emotions so that they can participate in the borrowing and lending concept. So that way the country can generate revenue. And also it feeds into voting. Okay. It also feeds into voting. So voting and revenue is their end goal from the government. All right. Is their end goal. So don't get caught up into that. Worry about your personal finances. And if you can worry about your personal finances and get that straight, everything else outside of that will be a non-issue. All right. So just want to jump on real quick. I hope everyone got some value from it. And we will talk to you all later. All right. Y'all have a blessed one.